Good evening, good people, and welcome to another community race of the Final Fantasy Randomizer. This week, we've got the Duckling Derby Week 3 flags, entrance and floor shuffle. It's an exciting time. I am Saracen. I am joined in the booth tonight by Hate the 13th. How you doing, Hate?
I'm doing quite well myself this evening. I'm hoping to find a nice and interesting race to watch here.
You know, I certainly hope so too. We'll see how the magic rolls, because that's kind of always the deciding factor of just how these seeds are going to go.
Yeah, anytime I find that there is no sweepers at level 1 or level 2, it always makes it a much more interesting one to commentate on. It makes me much happier that I'm not actually running it.
So for those who are not super familiar with what entrance and floor randomizer does, this flag set is sort of a little bit of a toned down version. Our towns are still where they're supposed to be, but any entrance that is not a town could pretty much go anywhere else. The exclusions to that is the Cardia Island dead spots. There's 2 entrances that don't get shuffled into the pool unless you tell them to. Those won't show up as standalone entrances, and those 2 entrances are dead. Those just stay where they're supposed to be. But you could walk into Canaria Castle, and you could find yourself right on the Bridge of Destiny, ready to go Fate Tiamat at level 1 before you even walk into Canaria Town. What you think about that, Hate?
That leads to some possibly interesting farming opportunities later on. I have played a couple of seeds of this where I have actually farmed Warmech because he's been the 3rd encounter on the Bridge of Destiny. I love it. And the gate has just been dropped, so the race should be beginning shortly for us all on stream.
You know, it's funny you bring up Warmech as the farm option, because any of the encounters on the bridge can be great if you've got the right spells. You know, if you've got R Hydras right off the gate or something like that, and you've had Ice 3, you pick up an early nuke or fade. And with this flag set, you know, you have an incentive to bring a white mage in case exit is locked out, or, you know, a black mage for warp if it doesn't end up being red learnable. But you also have the possibility of looking at it and seeing, well, hey, I've got level 1 red learnable fade. I'm going all in on red mages. Starting off with Matoya's Cave at Canaria Castle.
And a big fat pile of cash in there too, holy moly.
Light Axe +5 for those fighters too, that's big. That fighter has something to swing.
Yeah, Matoya's Cave, very, very friendly. And I have to shout out Budge Mono for using the Google or the Moogle sprites. That's what I use as well. I love them.
So, quick rundown for Blursings this seed. Our fighters have level 1 white spells and plus Xcal, so they can use that Xcal as soon as they find it, but they have -5 luck. Our thieves are +10 luck, +15 strength, -15 agility. It's pretty plain. Black belts, +5 luck, +20 agility, but black mage strength, which is really not an issue. Red mages have fighter armor and +20 strength, but -1% hit per level. White mages +10 agility and thief luck growth, but -10 luck to start. And black mages have 15 agility, 15 vitality, and -10 MDef. I like the red mage a lot in this, and the fighter as well. What do you think, Kate?
The red mage, I mean, it's going to be meaty. You know, it's going to be able to take some punches, but that -1 hit percent per level, yeah. I mean, you can give it a Vorpal if it rolls up, and if you get fast and hope, but yeah.
I hear you on that. At the same time, I don't worry about swinging with the red mage. You know, I'm looking for spells, and the idea of that red mage being able to toss on, you know, a flame armor is real appealing.
That I can definitely get behind. And it looks like Budge Mono went up to Toph, found the first floor volcano, and then one of the loot boxes out of Cardia.
Yeah, I think that was the Cardia Grass Island, as I refer to it. And now it's time for the danger walk of I have 11 hit points on my highest highest health character. Oh, but we have heal 3, that's right.
Yeah, that works then. And looks like Professor Renderer going and getting those silver charms for everybody. Not a bad start, honestly, because it's not bad armor, even when it rolls plain.
Mm-hmm. Grigglypuff going with a spicy play, finding Kraken floor. So we know where Kraken is now. The dwarf cave is full of fish. But, it's kind of an interestingly bold play to jump straight over there before, hitting up Provoca, getting your second level magic.
And speaking of second level magic, we see Fade at level 2 white, slot 1. So if you can learn white magic, you got that. And we got Fast at level 2 black. That red mage is looking better and better and better.
Yeah, one of the things that when I'm doing this is so level 1 magic is really where I am focused in terms of reset and rebuild my party. But sometimes when you've got level 2 magic like that, where hey, the red mage is practically a black mage just all of a sudden, I might consider re-rolling at that point.
And Grigglypuff has wandered in and found ice somewhere. I didn't see where he's at, and the purple says Matoya, but...
Yep, it was okay. Matoya.
Oh yeah, I forgot Matoya was at Corneria, because I'm not braining on things.
That is the glory right there of the entrance and floor shuffle.
Tossing up the ablative meat shield already, and it looks like Greg's going, you know what, we're gonna down some people, and then I'm gonna use some Fade to get some levels, or use that light axe and get some XP. Oof.
Yeah, except for the part where the fighter goes down, right? That's... He's not quite at the point where he can do that just yet.
Yeah, level 1, you've got, 20-something hit points. Yeah, not quite going to be able to handle that.
Oppadux, with a little bit of a spicy play here. Going after my personal favorite, the R Hydra. The fire hydrants are a wealth of experience usually. Now the real issue here is, you got to wait on that fighter to just swing the light axe, and you see jumping straight up to level 4 and level 5 on some of them.
And then running into some unrunnables, because can't run from everything anymore. It's not spring tournament.
Ooh, and stun landing on the fighter right away. So, not so great.
I'd say I'm shocked, but I'd be lying. This is one of the doomy parts of Entrance Floor Shuffle, is, alright, I got a kill, I've got some XP going, and now I get jumped.
Yep. Oppadux sees the ice floor, sees Frost Giants and Frost Wolves, and says, no.
I don't feel like fighting Jotunheim right now.
Budgemano also heading in, but actually moving along in here. Budgemano had already taken care of the pirates and gotten second level spells, so I think, slightly better position here. I don't think Gregory bought spells yet. I don't think Gregory took any encounters yet, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think he has second level slots.
Yeah. I mean, if he had realized what was at second level spells, he might have wandered outside and taken a couple of encounters before fighting the pirates, but whatever, he got him, that's all that counts. And finds Bicky has a boat still. It's more of a dinghy than a boat, but still, it's a thing.
And the herb is the shop item here in Provoca, so that's a little spendy, but...
Yeah, for a Provoca shop item, that's real expensive.
So I just saw cloth +3 in there, and man, that's some tempting right there. Cloth +3 does not sound impressive, but it is 7 absorb armor right out the gate.
Yeah, but they've got the silver bracelets already.
Yeah, if you invested in the silver bracelets, that's going to be better. Cloth +3 was like 4 gold.
Price-wise, that's a really great deal, I'm not going to lie.
Here we have Grigglypuff heading over to the Ice Cave vanilla location to see what's there. Grigglypuff is well known for the encounter manipulation. He's very familiar with just how many steps everything is. And we are seeing a Mirage 1 into Sky 1 into the carry floor. Carry floor is incentivized, and it has 2 spike tiles.
Yeah. Let's see if he can actually get through that second spike tile, whatever it is, because I've seen that roll pretty nasty before.
Well, you know, the plus side is the Light Axe would take care of this first spike tile for him, so, you know, that's not a big deal. We see Budgimato getting the cube out of the actual Ice Cave chest, the vanilla floater chest. So the cube may not be as useful here. One of the nice things about Entrance and Floor is that the only really required items are the key and the loot. Everything else is just sort of, you know, whatever. Now, logically, you're still going to get access to everything, right? You're still going to be able to go everywhere in the world. It's just going to be a little bit more circuitous, usually.
Yeah, as long as there's not anything that you need behind the rod block or the cube block, you actually don't need those things. And we found that Grigglypuff has found the canal out of that, well, very cold volcano. I don't know how you'd want to call that one.
Did I see Cremate out of one of those little undead guys? Because that's...
I think you did.
Well, now, here's the question is, does Greggly escape with his fighter and get out with that canal?
Good money on this is tuck and run. You've got some XP to save. You've got, you know, knowledge. I mean, you'll still keep the knowledge no matter what, but at least you've got the XP. You got some loot. Dump out.
I'm impressed that he got out. I'm also impressed he took the step after he got out. We see Budgimato heading to Kraken. This is a bold move.
Let's see if it plays out.
Papadux also at the Vanilla Ice Cave, checking out the chests in Mirage 1.
And Budgimato going, you know what? I'm going to take a pass. Oh, and looks like Northwest Castle is the East Titans Hall.
Now we shall see if the Titans wormhole is a thing. That is one of my favorite little artifacts of the Entrance and Floor Shuffle, is the possibility that Titans takes you somewhere important that you couldn't get to, and then it gives you the progression to get there.
Yeah,
so,
I've had that a couple of times, and it's a thing of beauty when it works out.
Budgimato finding the marsh split into the rod lock, so that's a thing that happens.
Yeah, it's one of the few times where the dungeon colors actually make sense still, at least for a floor.
And finding greater than less than here as well. Grigglypuff, meanwhile, on his way to find out our sage item, is the ruby. So we can find out about that Titan's wormhole now.
Let's see him pop him out on one of the Cardia Isle entrances.
The best part about that is any island that has 2 entrances, which is to say only Bahamut's Island, the other entrance is one of those dead ends, so...
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm hoping for it.
Budgimato, I hope, is able to escape with the levels that they just got, because that was a vampire pack that shot up the party to level 11.
And if you notice, he's immediately stopped going, you know, I'm not going to check those chests. I'm just going to go on from here. Grigglypuff has found ordeals at core. This color says...
Elf Castle?
I think so.
That's where he was headed. So, Budgimato looks to have had to reset out, sadly. So,
it's a shame, but it happens a lot with Entrance and Floor Shuffle.
Oh, it sure does. Papadux is, meanwhile, on the Sky 1 floor, which is an excellent floor. Has a Thor Hammer, a Fade, and an Ice 2 to a couple Fades to throw out at these Manticores, and those are good levels. And we see Budgimato has found Lich.
Ooh. Marsh, the play that pays.
So our favorite speed bump, as usual, will fall over pretty quick here. We have 2 fades, a fast onto a light axe +5 fighter.
Oh, you almost feel bad for him getting that fasted light axe going against him. Almost.
Almost.
12 minutes in and we get our first orblet. That's a quick one so far.
You know, I think the nice thing with entrance and floor is that you can pick up those quick wins, right? That's a morale boost at the very least, and it's a check mark off the mental list. So, you know, kudos on getting that. Now, the downside is you don't get to say that location is closed. The rod lock was on the other side of the Marsh split. Unfortunately, it means you're going to have to come back at some point unless you found your go mode elsewhere. And
Elf Castle is Toph. Huh.
So Gregley went to Volcano. That's where Ordeals is.
Alright, that makes more sense all of a sudden. And
I'm going to check
Sarah,
out those chests.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Checking out our
Sarah,
chests here.
Yeah, Princess Sarah does her normal thing in entrance and floor shuffle where she just pieces out and goes, yeah, you know what, take care of your own selves.
Yeah. Not a whole heck of a lot out of these chests in the Temple of Fiends, sadly. We got an opal shield and that was about it, so. But,
Yeah.
you know, someday we'll find Canaria Castle.
Yeah, eventually. I'm really hoping it's behind the rod lock. Because I'm a jerk.
Level 3 nuke, so those red mages looking real tasty.
Yeah, that is a good amount of mega death to cast against everyone else.
White locked life 2 though, so showing the value of the white mage here still. I don't think we've seen a solid case for the black mage at this point other than the run chance. That is a very boring white level 4 shop.
Yeah, that's we got warp. And it's red mage learnable still, so I don't know, man. Temper is the only thing that could potentially keep that black mage standing up if it were me.
Yeah. Yeah, and temper is really important when you've got fighter comps, but the nice thing with this flag set is that the scaling is actually pretty kind. The boss hit points just can't go that high, and the stat scaling doesn't go that high, so, you know, there's a lot fewer worries.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, if you chance upon a power bonk, then that black mage is entirely extraneous.
That was a black shirt +5 out of a chest in Ordeals for Gregley Puff.
Well, that's at least another casting thing. Hey, and a Vorpal +3, meaning the Vorpal sword is actually useful this seed, potentially. And the ship.
And the ship. Ooh, there's the real find is that ship.
Yep, Gregley Puff is available, or is now able to get outside of the inner sea.
So, funny thing about that is when you think about the locations that opens up, it opens up Melmond, Vanilla Earth Cave, and Titan's East Vanilla, and Ordeals. That's it. Until we get the floater, we can't really hit much in the north.
Yeah, though that being said, I mean, that's 4 more entrances, and we've seen Kraken Floor, we've seen Lich Floor, we've seen Carry Floor, we've seen Toph. They need to find Tia. And, well, obviously then the loot and the key. But, yeah, that's it. They could, depending upon how luck plays out, they could potentially have this without having to get the floater at all.
So I think logically the floater is going to come up, right? Because it just... I don't know that you can have an entrance and floor shuffle where you haven't checked the remove floater box, where the floater doesn't help you, like where it's not a required piece. That said, I'm really hopeful for this to be a jet seed. Because I want to see how everybody reacts to that news, right?
Yeah. And at times like this, like, whilst I've noted where the Fiend floors are, I haven't noted who's seen them yet. So I don't know how many, if anybody, actually is aware of that they've got three fiends open to them on the southern continent.
So I think, obviously, Papa Ducks knows and is going to address the carry problem right now. Has gotten quite a few levels, it looks like, with 352 hit points on that fighter currently.
Yeah, sword's looking pretty chunky.
So I think that's going to be a positive thing. Professor Renderer is working their way through Ice Cave still. Making moves, making progress. Grigglypuff takes care of Garland and gets the princess out of there and is boatward.
The first man on the open seas. And down goes Carrie for Saracen.
For me?
My bad. Papa. Yeah.
It's going to be
Sometimes
going down
so
pretty
smart.
quick. Going down pretty quick for Grigglypuff here soon, too. Or wait, no, Carrie was in Ice.
Yeah, he's heading to, well, where ice... Ooh, no, Professor, make sure you fix that response rate. Thank you.
That is a danger.
That is the worst thing to happen, and I will admit that I have done that far too many times myself.
I don't think I noticed that ice armor +5 was in the Ice Cave. That's pretty fantastic.
That fighter is equipped for bear.
Yeah. That's a scary boy right there.
Like, that's technically, that could be used for endgame gear. I mean, it's not the best weapon, but that armor, I've used worse.
I mean, people have used small knives to kill chaos. Let's be fair here.
That's true. Enough temper casts will help you with anything.
Grigglypuff going to get that herb out of the shop. And pick up a couple houses.
Yep, and Budgemano finding that Vorpal +3 and about to get his ship.
Papa Duck's not that far off from it either, so, you know.
Just gotta filter his way through this maze.
One of the things I always get a little self-conscious about when doing ordeals is I have to say the pillars out loud as I go to them, because otherwise I just lose track.
Yeah, good to know I'm not the only one who does that, because, yeah.
Yeah, every pillar is numbered to me, so they're all just 1s and 2s. Oh, hey, you were right. The wormhole goes to Bahamut's Island with the dead end.
I love it. I love it.
Now, Gregley did not check the 4 chests of the Titan's Trove, so we'll see what he's missing out on if anybody goes to check that out. I'm curious. You know, that's the place where the X-Cal hides in my mind.
Well, only if it rolls up. In this instance, if it rolls down, then it'll be somewhere nice and obvious for him.
Professor Renderer finally making the escape from Ice Cave, with only 1 casualty to speak of at the moment. But, you know, that's one of the challenges here. You know, we don't want to be too hard on our ducks as they're learning how all of this works out, but you know, there's a time and a place for bashing your head against something, and there's a time and a place for going and picking up some levels before you do that. I think that this was a situation where abandoning that play in ice for at least a little bit was a better plan. But,
yeah,
you know, it's all a learning experience. Grigglypuff is on the way to speed bump.
And I had not noticed this on anybody else's screen, but apparently the spike tile in Ordeal's the first one, the one you get right out of the hallway, is a whole bunch of lobsters.
I don't like them blue bugs.
Yeah, lobsters hurt far too much, far too often.
So I am very set in my ways when it comes to the river system, and I had no idea where Professor Renderer's... Oh. Okay, that's how that goes. I've never used that lower section of the river before. I was like, what? Where does that connect?
I've only used it a couple of times, and I just saw on Budgemano's screen, zombies have crack. So yeah, you run into a pack of zombies. If you don't get away from them or you don't end them quickly, they're going to go all chiropractic on you and crack your back wide open.
Yeah, the real problem is that they are the double fight here as they're trying to escape with that canal.
Please, just let me go. I want to get out with this construction equipment.
Light axe and a nuke will take care of most things. This case, yes, most definitely.
And it looks like Wrigglypuff's making his way towards Kraken already.
Bold, but I like it. You know, again, it's checking that box off, closing the locations.
Yeah, and the hit points he's got, you know, it's not bad. I mean, he's got fast, he's got nuke, he's got fade. The only thing that would be better is if he had Brack and or Bane.
I am not worried about that Kraken with 2 nuke casters and a fade caster. That's that encounter.
Yeah, and when Kraken hit, he only did like 100-something damage. That Kraken was made out of paper, it looks like.
Well, if I'm remembering the flags correctly, the scaling on the bosses is 50 to 150, and the hit points are 90 to 150. So, 90 to 150 hit points, you're talking about Kraken having, 800 base? So it could be up to 1200, unless you see something real nasty come out. There's just very little that you can expect that Kraken to do to you to take you out before you take it out with that much firepower.
True point. And I mean, given that I saw one of those nukes roll for 354 against Kraken, it wasn't going to be long.
Yeah. Karan pointing out Budgemano is riding the struggle bus here. This red mage is doing everything it can to solo through.
Yep, I mean, he just took out Carrie, and that's how come he's down to a solo red mage, so he's hoping to get somewhere to res.
Not far from Elf, but I'm just gonna say, yeah, you've got one fade charge. It's time to use it. This is
true boy.
Ooh,
stupid fish. Oh, yada yada.
Oh no.
I hope he saved. Core, I hope. Okay, good. Looks like he saved on his way out at least. So yeah, that's good.
Wrigglypuff's finding whiz mummies and mummies in the waterfall. Ooh, we got waterfall.
Waterfall at Earth Cave. That's not bad.
Yeah. What does our good robot friend have for us today?
Survey says we'll find out soon enough. I thought he was on the spike tile.
Nope. No, he just gets to deal with Argoyles.
That's an annoying spike tile. It's not worth anything generally, and they're just an robot friend provides.
And we're going to see some warps out of here. Or an exit. Level 5 exit. That's good to know.
And Professor Renderer has found iron golems somewhere.
I'm going to guess that that's top right, second floor ordeals.
Correct you are.
That's a tile for another party.
Yeah, that's a tile for future me or future player, future person, and well, they can deal with that later.
Budgemano finding out that the Titan Trove has all of nothing. So
yeah, fat stack of cash in one of them, and that's it.
had set up the warp trick, and sadly has to go back to Bahamut's Island. Gregglypuff in the air, 27 minutes, 32 seconds. That's a good feeling. I think there's a fiend about to go down for another orb.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I was gonna say I think Lich is not gonna be long for this world.
I think it's Carry here. Lich has already gone down. But had to do some airship push-ups first.
I can brain, really. I swear it.
It's only like 8 o'clock for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just been a day.
I understand. You see, Budgemano is making the same moves out in the direction of Melmond, so that's good news.
Yeah, picking up some bracket level 5 as well. Getting ready for his fight with Tia, wherever Tiamat's laying at. And
blink and you miss it. There's another Orblet for Gregglypuff.
Yeah, that was a quite the quick fight. As that genie problem pointed out in chat. Hi, Carrie. Bye, Carrie. Sarda's got the volcano armory in his cave, and Gregglypuff is like, you know what? I'll have none of this. I do not care. Then again, Gregglypuff is kind of the king of the black belt, so he's used to just not touching chests ever.
I mean, he's and Sarda's hiding at the end of all this. He just needed his own dungeon.
He just wanted to dig a little bit down or further down.
All right, there's an Oxyale, which may not actually lead to anything of import. We'll find out eventually, probably, maybe not. Who knows?
At least it's a lot easier to find than any of the other, rod lock, cube lock generally. But let's see what the incentive in Sky is. Booms. Found some boomsticks.
It's dynamite.
Gregglypuff showing off, hey, look, I know where this next encounter is coming. It's within the next few steps. I want to deal with it here, because this is good XP.
Yep. What I sometimes refer to as spider floor or asterisk floor of Sky is an excellent place for experience. And then finding the disappointment of Marsh Attic, which I like Marsh Attic outside of the entrance and floor shuffle, but there's no point in the actual shuffle.
And apparently the Titan just decided to move most of Marsh Cave into his place, and Asta's moved in.
It seems fitting. Alright, so I would expect Gregglypuff to head in the direction of Cardia Isles here. There's 4 entrances to check that are very accessible.
Yeah, many entrances. I love getting the floater and going, hey, look, I'm going right to Cardia, and he finds Corneria. Let's see what they've got for him.
Lab.
Big chunk of rock and a big chunk of metal.
That's pretty good. Budgemano is about to get that floater as well, so that's excellent news. Gregglypuff about to get the bad news. Hey!
Wait a minute, this looks familiar. And just opting to keep the ruby in his inventory rather than just feed it to the Titan. Oh, and finding Sea Split in the swamp one.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so right side looks mostly dead, but he's going to check the chests anyway, because you never know when you're going to find that Excal. Opal Bracelet, or Gauntlet, whatever. That was dead. I'm just going to walk back in. Not even worth the warp charge.
Yeah, I can't blame him on that one, honestly. Budgemano getting his floater and making his way right on over there. And I am not gonna lie, most of the seeds I've been playing lately have speedboat on, and seeing the regular boat speed is like a little bit painful.
That is exactly the word that I would use. I really hope that speedboat becomes more commonplace, and along with that, I really hope that they make a speed canoe at some point, and that's going to be so hard to navigate with.
I would love to see that, just because of the sheer silliness. Oh, that would...
I've been telling our creative folks, because we've got a whole channel in the Discord for creativity, making new sprites, and all of that. I want to see the ship get a new sprite that has a little outboard motor on it, and I want the same thing on the canoe when the speed canoe happens.
Turn it into a jet ski, basically.
Heck yeah.
Oh my god. I'm trying to imagine, like, doing the little quick, fine movements around ordeals to, get those extra non-encounter steps. Trying to do that with a speedboat, or with a speedy canoe, just pump, 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 ah, crap! Wow, and Grigglypuff actually deigning to touch chests in Sharknado floor. I'm kind of surprised.
Those ones are kind of on the way. I think that's, Dead Pulse has said in the past that it's 3 seconds a chest. That's the target. If you have a group of chests like those 3, you make that time up, right? And getting an ice sword, that's usable weapon, except why? The unfortunate thing is that Light Axe +5 is just too good.
Yeah. Hey, finding a pro ring, though. That's a handy find.
Mm-hmm. Wood stick.
Yeah, wood +2. At least it's not a wood minus something or other. And at the bottom of that, he finds the elf castle. And he's already got the herb at least, so bravo.
Yeah. Getting a chime, which is another entrance, and it's an easy one to get to. It's actually faster than trying to get to either of the locations in the Onrak continent. So,
yeah, I would prefer hitting up Mirage before I hit up Onrak and or the Waterfall, just because, man, I hate having to park so far away.
Yep. See Papa Duck's heading in to take out Kraken here.
And Grigglypuff finding the mermaids on the other Cardia Island forest.
Mm-hmm. So this is an incentivized floor, if I recall.
Yes, it is. And I saw he grabbed an Aegis shield out of there.
Oh, Greg with the disrespect.
How do you leave bubbles uncarbonated, man? Seed invalid. Or invalid.
It's the disrespect.
Me fail English? That's impossible. I bet he'd let the Hooray Dwarf live as well. Villain.
I mean, we will probably find out. I don't know which of the community memes Grigglypuff goes in for, but he has found a key, which is very important.
Yep. All he really needs is to find the loot and Tiamat. And he is opting to go to Onrak first, it seems. Oh, opting to go land on the vendor. Alright, that makes sense.
Pick up some houses. He was out of houses, so that makes sense. Professor Renderer making their way over to the Vanilla Ice Cave.
Whereas Budgemano is making the way down to Mermaids. Puff? Where are you going? Oh, Slab.
Okay, so we've got Papa Ducks going through Elfland right now. It's really interesting seeing where things are at for Papa Ducks. 37 minutes and 3 orbs lit, which is to say the same number as Puff, but there's just such an exploration lead on Gregley's side at this point. And it's really hard to overstate just how much territory Puff has explored at this point.
Yeah, Puff has kind of covered most of the world at this point, it seems. Once his stream comes back up, that is.
Well, you know how it is.
Yeah, Techno Gremlin's gonna be Techno Gremlins and do things. Alright, Budge's turn to explore the C-split and get disappointed by that right side pretty much immediately.
Well, I mean, you gotta be disappointed by something, right?
Yeah, true. There's always going to be the duds. It's not as bad as when there's dead ends, though. I kind of love doing that, though. Like, watching somebody go through, like, an 8-floor dungeon just to come to a dead end is just... There's so much schadenfreude in that. It's beautiful.
Papa Ducks almost missing out on that ice +5. But making the play.
Yeah.
Oh, that is news right there.
Yeah, this is
zippy.
Yeah.
Now we just need a loot, and we'll see just how many fetch quests that's hiding behind.
All of them.
So, to my knowledge, we have not yet seen the dwarf cave. We have 2 turn-ins for the dwarves on Gregley's side. We have not found a crown, but we know where Astos is hiding.
Yep. And don't think we've got the bottle yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing the bottle anywhere, nor am I seeing the crystal anywhere.
We've got Sky Maze.
Quote-unquote maze, at least.
Oh, we do have the cube block.
Yeah. Interesting.
With our Apple-branded mages.
I was just going to make that joke myself.
On to the Lich Armory floor.
And just passing everything off. Because, no need.
Those chests are so slow, even with warp. I will say, most often, if I am checking those chests, we found the dwarves. Oh, geez. If I'm checking the chests in the dwarf armory, it's more because I'm checking the spike tiles in there. All right, Adamant turns into crystal. Hooray, dwarf, still alive, which is very sad.
Villain!
I see how you are, Gregley Puff. And getting the rod from Narek. Still gonna check the dwarf armory chest. The density here is enough for the Puff.
Yeah, I will generally check these chests as well, if only because, hey, you made me walk down here. I'm going to take all of your stuff. Wow, those chests were garbage.
That they were. So, as suspected, those dwarves were giving us a whole lot of stuff to chase down. But I don't think that the slab turn-in has happened yet. And Gregley's going to check the chime first.
Yeah, he has translated the slab.
Okay, so we got C left 2. There's still a whole lot of nothing on that floor, which, I'm sure Gregley Puff is excited about that.
Yeah, oh, so excited. Cannot you feel the excitement? Oh boy.
Guy 3 after the little ice jaunt. To Marsh. Okay.
Marsh bottom. This is incentivized.
This could be a thing. I'm guessing it's the crown. We're going to get waylaid by a grump tile. a untouched grump tile. Oh, Masa. Okay. So we have our endgame sword. Congratulations.
Yeah.
No promotion needed. Still have not found Bahamut.
And let's see. He doesn't have the bottles, so he has translated the slab. Let's see the Lefanians give him a bottle. Or actually, let's see the Lefanians give him a crown. And the crown leads to the bottle leads to the loot.
Professor Renderer finding the carry floor. Budgemano checking Canaria locked.
All right,
There's
we
our
got the
crown.
All right. That's going to be back to Titans East to dig down a couple of floors to find Astos.
So I've said it before, and I cannot help but to say the story again. The here, use this to avenge the Sky Warriors is a lot more ominous when they give you the TNT.
That's a lot more beautiful, though.
All right. Greg heading over to Ordeal's entrance. I think, yeah, he's going to have to make a short stop here to save, reset to avoid encounters because it's Greggly Puff. He's going to avoid every outdoor encounter he possibly can.
I can't blame him for that.
To find Earth 2.
I guess he's hoping for something else that's going to give him the loot and not feed him down a long fetch quest chain.
So
I'm hoping this is just going to be nothing.
that's Cardia Forest. Okay, well, we got 7 chests here.
I think at this point he's touching them, hoping for a ribbon.
Maybe. Nope.
I am not surprised that he reset out of that because that was kind of a
lot
bunch
of
of garbage chests. Yep. Now he's trying to remember where Astos was.
No, he's going to turn into Matoya first. Because that was an easy turn in. To get the bottle. Here she's just been drinking away in her castle.
I guess it's a bottle of absinthe there.
Hey, did you know that you have a fan club?
I've heard a few people say they enjoy having me on comms.
I'll be honest, I've been looking forward to doing comms with you at some point, so.
Well, I'm blushing now.
All right, what's Astos got? Astos has the loot. We are officially in go mode with this.
And Professor Renderer, I'm hoping he didn't lose power.
Yeah, we can hope. It has been 3 minutes of no action on the stream for Professor Renderer, so we'll find out, hopefully soon.
Yeah, in due time. And Budgemano getting the crystal in the rod, whereas Papa Dux has just picked out the key. And looks like we've got Greggly Puff going to pick up Temper. All right.
Yep.
Last stop before he goes to Toph. Or not.
Is there an incentivized ribbon? Because that would be a good excuse to turn in this bottle.
I believe it is.
Pro rings and golds there.
Well, that's where all the good armor's been hiding at.
Good asterisk with those.
Technically good. And yes, the other incentive item is a ribbon. So yeah, he's going to want that one, I'm guessing.
What's got to feel good on Greg's side is we didn't have to go through the rod lock. And I am very happy for him. The rod lock floor is my least favorite floor in entrance and floor shuffle, so
It's a painful one to get through, and it's just bloody annoying. And the only thing behind it at this point, I believe, would be Bahamut, however many floors down he is.
yeah, sounds right.
"47 minutes and 40 seconds, and we've got Greggly Puff into Toph. And into the past he goes. 47-43. Not a bad time at all.
Meanwhile, Budgemano here, taking out Tia, is going to be not all that far behind Greggly Puff. Just a matter of finding the loot, which, admittedly is a bit of a chain.
And Greggly Puff finding the EXP pinatas that are gas dragons as they tried to walk up on him, and he threw some microwaves at them until they went away.
I completely understand that play because, it's never like great to pick up experience in the Temple of Fiends Revisited. However, the fighter is not yet 24, and that hit break point for the Masa is 24.
Yeah, so I can understand him wanting to take some fights on his way here. Or whilst he's here, I should say, especially with a really high EXP stuff like, 4 Gasties. And Papa Duck's making his way on down here to... I've forgotten what this one is. I think this might just be Astos.
I have forgotten as well. It's
Wait,
okay.
No, that's not Astos. I know I had made notes of things, but I didn't include the interim floors.
And you're taking notes? I'm just relying on Karan. And my own eyes, but mostly Karan. Shout out to our tracker, Karan.
Yeah.
Stepping in very last minute, and we very much appreciate this because I don't want to track while I'm calming. That's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. I had my first attempt of tracking 4 people with entrance floor town shuffle, and I may have overnoted things.
But why, though?
Because I don't know. And wow, yeah, Puff taking some more fights because he got jumped by some Gurmadeuses, and well, they're always made of EXP and not much else.
Mm-hmm.
Speed bump.
The first nuke hits hard. The second nuke does not, but it takes out the Lich. So one small thing I would be concerned about, myself being a very, I would say conservative runner in that I like to overlevel a fair bit. And I'm more of a black belt player these days anyway. But I am looking at the nuke usage and seeing, that was a zap for 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is a problem here. And a nuclear. Oh, and then a wasted life 2 cast. Ouch.
Ooh. It's okay. Carrie went down. We'll fix this. I hope.
Yeah, and only have 2 life 2s left, and Fade sharing a level with Cure 4. It's time to start shotgunning potions, I think.
Yeah, the nice thing is the White Mage had not taken so much damage from that nuclear, but oof.
Yeah, it still hurts to see. But hey, that's at least 1 nuclear that, Kraken 2, Tier 2, or Chaos doesn't have.
Rich Bork mentioning that Professor Render's stream's still working on Twitch. It's just a connection. Okay. Might need a refresh of some sort.
All right, and the appropriate people have been pinged, and whilst I looked away, Kraken 2 went down pretty easily, it seems. Because that was, yeah.
That was a very kind and gentle water floor.
That's very disconcerting. Like, it's probably just me because, you know, hey, this is a kind water floor. Oh god, what's going to happen? Is my general thought. Oh, and getting a quad X off on Tia, too, after a couple of rounds. Man, Greg's just plowing through the fiends here.
The year of the Puff seems to be continuing. Gregory Puff, our spring tournament winner.
Yeah, and that was an impressive set of matches to watch as well, I do have to say.
Sure was.
53 minutes pulling chaos. All right, we've got fast, we've got temper, we've got tentative heal 3, I guess.
It's sort of a what else does the white mage do heal 3, right?
10 hits for 624 points of damage. That is a good start. And that heal 3 actually coming into use, take care of the lit 2 damage. Getting some more nukes, getting another temper, and well, why not more heal 3?
I mean, there was damage to heal at least. Ice 2 coming out from Chaos, doing Ice 2 things.
10 hits for 863. Whew. Chaos, not going to be long for this world, because it's nuke and fade time, it looks like.
That's a good time, you know? Nuke and fade time is a great time.
Yeah, unless you're Chaos. All right, swing, 10 hits for 806, and Chaos is down. Get your GGs out in chat for our first place finisher. Not just on stream, but overall, with an official racetime.gg time of 54 minutes and 25 seconds. Gregory Puff. And we're going to see about getting him in here for an interview if he so desires quite shortly.
Yeah, GG's Gregory Puff. That's excellent performance there. So, meanwhile, we're seeing Budgemano hanging out in Gaia. You see Papa Ducks heading back up from Lefane, having completed that turn in.
And we've had our second place finisher off stream. Deadpulse coming in second with a time of 56:09.
Oh, yes. Budgemano heading in to Marsh Split North, which is the rod locked floor.
I wonder if he's looking for that promotion.
Yeah, but I don't see the rod on the tracker. And that rod came from dwarves, right?
The dwarves gave Crystal and...
It looks like the TNT turn-in was the rod.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit unfortunate, but,
yeah.
You know. And that's not an incentivized location in these flags. That I know.
Yes, and Papa Duck's going in, beating on Tia. Let's see how long this poor dragon's going to last before it falls down dead. So let me see. 1 round. 1 1/4 rounds. 1.5. And 1.75 rounds. Yep, and that's a dead dragon. And that puts Papa Ducks just needing to hunt for that loot. And that's his go point. Papa Ducks also needs to get the Oxy Ale, though, still.
It looks like Greggly Puff joining us in the booth. GG Greggly Puff.
Yes, GG, Speedy Man.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening. How is everyone doing out there in the world of SpeedGaming 5?
You know,
Blown
that
away
is
by
it.
how quickly you got through that.
Huh?
Blown away by how quickly you got through that.
Oh man, it wasn't that bad. I have done some crazier entrance floor shuffles on that one. That one wasn't too bad. The worst part about that was just me getting lost in ordeals for like a million years.
Well, Pillar Maze is Troll Maze, so I completely understand that. Just one thing I wanted to touch on it is party comp. You know, because we're looking at this as a preparation for our Duckling Derby on Sunday. What were you looking at as far as party comp walking in? What was the deciding factor for you on what you landed on?
I mean, okay, so we've got a basic free Masamune or a free ribbon. And when I say free, I mean they're in the incentive pool. So you know you're going to end up with them more than likely, unless they're just completely out of the way. But even then, you're still looking for... the ribbon's just too good to pass up. Same with the Masa. So at that point, with the... what are they called? The alternative trap spike tiles. I didn't want to bring a black belt here because A, I got to find the spike tiles, and B, there aren't that many great viable solo grinds. So that's what made me decide to bring the fighter. Plus, the fighter had like level 1's white spells, which is always kind of nice to have like extra magic there. And then outside of that, just rounding the fighter out. Fighter Rainbow is pretty classic combo. You know, you have kind of the best of all the worlds there. You've got your white mage. If your white mage's magic spells are terrible, you can put them down and then just run a 3-man with the red mage and the black mage. And that was just kind of my thought process going there. Just trying to figure out what my melee is going to be, and then building my mages around that melee based on just, you know, the flags and the scaling and all that.
I gotcha. Any locations that you found particularly annoying besides ordeals?
No, I mean, ordeals was just me like not knowing what was going on. For whatever reason, I made it to the bottom left room, and I kept thinking I hadn't seen it yet, and so I just kept. I don't know what I was thinking, and then when I got to the middle room, I had forgotten it was I had already gone into the bottom pillar, and so I went to the bottom pillar twice, and then had to keep going around. And it didn't make it any easier that that it was the fourth pillar. It was progression. So I don't know. I felt like I felt like I was in ordeals for like 20 minutes, even though it was probably only like 6 or 7 minutes. It just felt like forever. Outside of that, I didn't really feel like there was anything too annoying. You know, the unrunnable Geist zombie battle that had cremate and crack was not fun, but luckily I was able to get in and out of that with no issue.
Yeah, that was, I think, the most threatening thing you saw up until Carry 2 decided to zap half your party out.
Yeah, I really lucked out there. I don't remember if the fighter had like better MDef or not, but I am just glad my fighter survived and that I kept the ribbon on my white mage so that she could bring everybody back to life with that life too.
Spoiler, the fighter did not have extra MDef, so...
Yeah, the fighter could equip an X-Cal if he'd found one, but
yeah,
that wasn't needed, really.
It's weird to run this fighter in this particular situation because like for me, I was like, I'm not opening boxes, I'm going to get a ribbon. You know, especially when that iron armor rolled +5. To me, that's already like, oh, I got the best armor I could possibly get on my fighter. I mean, that's equivalent to a standard ice or flame armor.
It's funny you say that because the chest to the left of the vanilla floater chest was an ice +5.
I picked one of those up when I obviously did the floater. That was my big concern, was like going into, or not floater, going into ice cave, going backhand. I didn't want to go there without warp, and luckily warp was level 4. So when I did pick up the cube out of there, I did grab that ice +5, which is basically, it's just so good.
Yeah,
It's
very
absurd.
much so. And we've got Papadox actually making his way through Tia 2 right now as well. So before we get into any more lengthy conversations, I'm expecting him to get through this soon and then be on to Chaos.
And at the same time, Budgemano, finding the loot, just needs to light the water orb at this point.
Yeah, now we see Budgemano has kept notes or remembers where it looks like notes or memory were passed. And Papadox rolling up into Chaos. Topping off his people first, because, never forget to shotgun your potions, folks. As expected, we got fast going off, and we've got early nuke from him. White shirt and defense. I wonder where he found that defense sword at.
Where was that defense?
I have no idea.
Same.
Tracker. Karan, where are you?
It was
We need
in
to
a
know where
chest.
that defense was.
It was in a chest. That's as much as I know.
There are a lot of chests in the game. 241 of them, as I recall. And it's hard to keep track of them all. It's also hard to keep track of individual chests when you've got 4 streams going.
Oh, for sure.
All right, looks like we're seeing a whole bunch of tempers landed out so far. We're getting more nukes out of the Red Mage because Red Mage has nothing else to do. We're getting some fades coming out. Nope, getting a heal 3 instead. Because Chaos going for lit 2, doing some chip damage. Sword swinging 10 hits for 742. Too bad the temper didn't land first. Another nuke, 318. That's another really good roll on that nuke. The damage that I've seen so far, this Chaos is not going to be long for this world. Yeah, nuke, fade, swing. Fade for 126, nuke for 254. Chaos swings and misses. Nuke for 135, and that is a dead Chaos. Get your GGs out in chat for Papadox, finishing 3rd overall with a time of 104.37. So, GGs.
GG's. All right, so Budgemano now in go mode, and off and away we shall go. Just doing the final stock ups before heading into the Temple of Fiends Revisited.
Things to not forget before getting into Topher. Potions.
Things to remember on entrance and floor shuffle. Where's the Temple of Fiends?
And where to buy potions. Walking in there going, wait a minute, this isn't right.
Yep. Time to check the notes.
At least it's not a deep Topher.
Those are fun, though. I appreciate that.
I do enjoy that myself. Once again, though, I am a little bit of a masochist when it comes to this game.
So, Greg, is there any parting thoughts or suggestions for the Ducks looking at this upcoming Derby race? You know, tips and tricks from a veteran.
I mean, I don't know. With the encounter rate as low as it is, just try to get to the bottom of the dungeons, or at least figure out what's happening there. Do not be scared to, get away from an incentive location if you don't think you can get there. If you get like ambushing something on a spike tile that's blocking an incentive location, or in my case where, I saw that Ice Cave was down in Matoya's Cave and I was level 1. Sometimes you just got to get away and do some other things, and then maybe come back to that. Outside of that, just take good notes if you need to take good notes, or if you need to take notes in general. And just remember, you're gonna more than likely end up with a massa or a ribbon. So don't feel like you need to open as many boxes as you think you need to open.
Got it. Open all the boxes.
Yeah, open all the boxes. Just open every box and see what happens. But
Even the
just go
vanilla
slower.
masa box. Make
Yeah,
make that long walk.
yeah, that's what I recommend. Just
Yes,
vanilla
totally
master
do
box
that.
is always the best one.
Just totally do that. Yes, totally. Yes. Don't listen to the suspiciousness in my voice right now. Nope, not at all.
All right, so one last question from me. I gotta know why you gotta disrespect Bubbles like that? Just walking right past Bubbles.
Bubbles, I actually may. Yeah, it's very unusual that I walk past her without murdering her existence. Because normally she's in the way. I mean, there's only 4 tiles she can exist in, and there's those 2 chests you got to check. So, yeah, I feel like she deserves to die just for existing in that room. But this time I decided, you know what? It's fine. She's so scared of dying anyway. There's no reason for me to just turn her into bubbles already.
You know the run's not valid unless she's carbonated, right?
Ah, nuts. I guess I better just go on ahead and reset, go kill her, and then come back in and see what I can do.
Yep, first place invalidated because, Bubble's still alive. And the Hooray Dwarf's still alive, you villain.
I talked to Hooray Dwarf. He just didn't die, and I was very confused. I was like, what? I thought I had that turned on.
All right, well, that's a fair thing.
Oh, Dead Pauls. Dead Pauls.
First and second place, both leaving both leaving Bubbles alive. God, blimey. What's happening to our world?
I have to say, Budget Mono, have an awesome time here, at least going into Topher just over an hour. Um, Carrie coming out with the zaps, missing everyone, which has got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, Budgemano, this is the first time that I've seen him race. This is the first time I've heard of him.
Mhm.
They've been putting on an amazing race, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Budgemano was on your heels for a large part of the seed. Like very close and making some great plays. So, I do want to shout out the performance there. And we are
Yeah.
joined in the booth by third place finisher Papa Ducks. Gigi Papa Ducks, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
Yeah, I am personally impressed with how jetty this seed was overall, not just for you, but for, well, everyone. Oh, and Carrie also has Bane, apparently. I look up from something else and get distracted by a shiny thing.
It's just rude.
Is that Carrie too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Carrie 2 with Zap and Bane both.
Wow. I think I saw one punch from her.
Yeah, we saw you, murder machine. Like, I saw you walk into Topher, and then I blinked, and then you were at Tia 2.
Yeah, found the masa. I got some good early levels thanks to some of those sky floors, and didn't really have any trouble getting through anything. I had some bad routing decisions, but nothing horrible. I think the worst point was when I was on the carry floor and I forgot to heal up before I hit that coming out of the incentive when I hit that ghoul and zombie pack with cremate and wiped my
Mhm.
whole party, and I had to walk out and revive
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oof.
Yeah, cremate and crack. Don't forget the
And
crack.
and crack. Yep.
Hey, crack.
So, thinking of chests, because you mentioned Skyfloor, where was that defense sword hiding at?
It was in the greater than less than room.
Okay.
Okay.
I was never finding that.
I think a lot of folks ran by that for various reasons, whether they were already close enough to go mode and not needing the equipment, or it was real early in the seed, which I think was the case for Budgemano. And it was time to walk on by.
Yeah. I had 2 fade casters at that point, so I wasn't too worried about battles. I figured that was one of the places where I gained quite a few levels walking through there.
that is one of the good points about entrance and floor shuffle. When you come across the sky floor or mirage floor and at your early level, but you got some good spells, you're not going to be low level for very long.
That is the truth.
And
So,
Budgetano dropping Tia 2, getting ready to roll into chaos very shortly. Yeah, before I cut you off, go ahead.
so Papa Ducks, thinking about your approach to entrance and floor here, what sort of advice do you have for all of our ducks who are preparing for Sunday night's derby?
I think the biggest thing is not to try to tackle something that you're not geared for or leveled for. I have a bad tendency of doing that sometimes, and I get fixated on doing it. That's the biggest thing, and definitely take notes, because more than likely you're going to have to revisit a couple places, and you want to know where it is.
Yeah, I certainly agree with that. Taking notes, especially when you're in the actual race, and practicing taking notes is actually important too. Um, it's very easy to get into the race and fall out of the rhythm of taking notes, and having that practice built in is good, especially since it's real easy to forget where you've been if you don't have just like the perfect memory for it. Um, Anything surprising in terms of this seed?
The only thing caught me off guard is that dead ends were off, and I checked both of them. Even after I figured out that dead ends were off after I checked the first one, I still checked the second one just to make sure. Um, I didn't realize that. Other than that, no, nothing really.
And GG to Budgermano taking out Chaos at 1 hour, 13 minutes, 51 seconds. Fourth place overall in our race today.
Get your GGs out in chat right now. Unfortunately, he does not have a mic set up right now, so is going to have to take a powder on the interview. But GGs, and that was a very impressive run for basically your first race, if I recall correctly. You feel free to join us in chat if you're listening, or if you're not, well, then I'm just babbling into the abyss.
I think Budgermano's been racing in the Derby weeks coming up here. So, it's good to see, relatively new face on the restream here. Always like to show off all of our runners and, how much we've worked to build up the community. Just, toss it out there. The Duckling program is a fantastic way to get introduced to the Final Fantasy Randomizer community and the randomizer itself. It is a training program of sorts for all of the different aspects of the randomizer. So it culminates in the Duckling Derby, a series of 4 races with Mario Kart style points, where we get to crown our new Duckling Supreme. Dead Pulse, you're getting the crown taken away from you in just about a week and a half. So, just going to toss that out there. You're still a champion, but you won't be the Duckling Supreme anymore. It's got a sting, right?
Yeah, sad and happy. I can understand those feelings, but you've still got other places you can go to wreck face and take over. And just as a side note, Courant has been keeping Professor Renderer's item tracking updated, because whilst his stream is frozen for us, it is actually still running on his side. He's just picked up the floater. He's got 2 orbs lit so far, at least.
So for anybody who's wondering, I give Dead Pulse some guff because Dead Pulse was the Duckling Supreme for my Duckling Derby, and he's a good pal. This is all friendly banter. All right. So, at this point, with Professor Ender's stream frozen for over half an hour now, probably time to wrap things up here. it's hard to commentate a stream you can't see, and definitely hard to appreciate the runner's performance when it's not here. But certainly, it's been a great race. Looking forward to the rest of our off-stream runners and their performance here as well. Let's always keep the race room open. But as we're wrapping up here, let's get some final thoughts. Hate, what you got for us?
I just want to say thanks to Budgemono, Papa Ducks, Gregory Puff, and Professor Renderer for agreeing to be restreamed kind of at the last moment. And, well, only were a couple that were conscripted into it. Thank you for volunteering for those who have. And thanks for putting on just a really good show, and honestly kind of a class on how to handle an entrance and floor shuffle. It was a very impressive run out of, well, everybody on the stream. So thank you for that. And yes, if you're hearing this, go give the people a follow because they deserve it. They've earned it for the performances they put in. Go toss one at Saracen as well, and Kurant, because Kurant's been kicking butt on the tracking, and Saracen's just very entertaining comms.
I'm glad to hear it. Gregory Puff, what you got for us?
I mean, the usual kind of stuff that I always try to say, thanks to Speed Gaming for having us on Speed Gaming number 5. Make sure that you join the Discord. Go to our website at FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Click on the link that says Discord. It will take you to our Discord. You can ask questions, learn everything you need to know about Final Fantasy Randomizer. It is a ton of fun. And I'm excited to see what these newer players are going to do with these flags come Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time on a Speed Gaming / RPG Limit Break channel near you. So please check that out come Sunday.
All right, Papa Ducks.
Just pretty much the same thing. Thanks to Speed Gaming for hosting us. Thanks to you guys for commenting and tracking. Looking forward to the Duckling Derby race this week. Been having a good time with that. This is a great community to anybody that's hasn't joined yet. You really should. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat. Thank you, Hate, as my co-coms here in the booth tonight. Thank you, Kurant, for tracking. You did a fabulous job. I appreciate you jumping in so last minute after also being part of a Worlds Collide race prior to this. Thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting us. We can't really put on a performance without a stage, and it's always great to have the partnership with our streaming partners. As folks here have said, stop on by FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. Check out the randomizer. Check out the community. That Discord link will bring you to the community. We are very active, and everybody is very helpful. So would appreciate seeing your bright and shining faces in there. For the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, I am Saracen. Thank you so much, and have a great night.